Thank you so much. I hope everyone is enjoying their time in the networking space. I wanted to come to you, especially speaking to all of our talent leads here in the city, to do just a quick update on how things are progressing with Teach Indy, especially over this last school year, the 2020-2021 school year. So Blake, if you want to advance, here's how we will spend our time together today.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone is enjoying their time in the networking space.
Let me turn my sound off. There we go. Here's how we will be spending our time today. We're going to look a little at the Teach Indy mission, look at some of our outcomes, and then some advice for how you can leverage Teach Indy, as well as opportunities to ask questions. We'll then take a quick pause, and I will share a little bit of the logistics of how to update your jobs and schools page, recognizing you have all the supports, and so we'll be providing some supports along the way that you can reference back to. We will share out this PowerPoint presentation. So again, if you missed this, no worries, you will be able to access that again. So let's talk a little bit about the mission of Teach Indy. So Teach Indy, here at Teach Indy, the mission really is to recruit, develop, reward, and retain high-quality, diverse educators to Center Township schools. Teach Indy, as you may know, is a partnership between IPS, the Mayor's Office of Education Innovation, and the Mind Trust, and really launched a couple years back in 2018 with some new initiatives and new kind of direction here, thus starting in October. As you can see here on the screen, it's also a key strategy connected to the Mind Trust 5-year strategic plan for talent. So in addition to things that are really important to Teach Indy, like educators assistance and resources, professional development opportunities, our educators conference, which we hope that you were able to attend. Today, we're going to focus on how to leverage the website itself in recruiting your talent, potential talent to join your schools. So let's talk a little bit about some of the outcomes that we've seen over the last year. So, when we think about 2021, in October, we relaunched and kind of reimagined the Teach Indy campaign to focus on meaningfully exposing this reimagined website to a more diverse and qualified audience with multiple touch points. In addition to things like social media, we were really targeted in the audience that we are hoping to engage. So the group that we're looking at are in-market teachers and also anyone that's connected to youth and education. That was kind of our target. We also marketed specifically to people of color, African American, and folks that identify as Black, as well as folks that identify as Hispanic. And then we did some research to identify key markets where we see the most teachers that are engaging in Indianapolis. So you'll see the cities listed here. And we are looking at markets of, adults 21 to 49. This year in our new campaign, we launched not only a paid and organic social media that's gathered a lot of information and a lot of attraction, but we used some Google search and also had some TV commercials that we hope that you saw where you stream, including I get to see it on Hulu all the time. So how have these efforts planned out? Like, if you can go to the next slide. Between October, which is when we launched the account or launched the plan, to now, we've had a lot of engagement across the country. So 49 states have engaged, and we've also seen traction across different countries that are interested in teaching in the U.S.
For some reason, I don't know.
So between October and the end of June, we had over 14 million folks that connected in some way, shape, or form with Teach Indy. And 175,000 of them actually clicked on something related to the media. And as you keep going down, 97,000 folks visited our website this year, which is nearly double when we first launched the campaign. We've had significant increases in our traffic, especially as of late. And we attribute that really to the job board and having the opportunity for folks to secure and find a job, that they're directly on that Teach Indy page. That seems to be the place where most people are visiting. As listed below, about 41,000 visitors, 41,000 folks visited our jobs and jobs opening page. So we're seeing about we're seeing increases on specific jobs. In particular, we've had a couple of jobs that have been clicked on about 600 times by people. So the ability to really push jobs and help folks find that just right home at your schools is really happening by way of Teach Indy, especially coming out of the conference. So that is something that we know that we're really trying to build some momentum from. So when we look to the future of Teach Indy and think about, what is the Mind Trust really doing, and what is Teach Indy going to be looking to do in 2021 and 2022? A couple things. One, we want to continue strong social media presence. We'll continue our commercials and our ads. We will also be making sure that we are doing posts specific to our schools so that your school is being leveraged on that Teach Indy platform if you are included in the portfolio. We've also established a new partnership with the college football playoffs. And if you didn't know, the National College Football Playoff Championship game is going to be here in Indianapolis on January 10th. And so we will not only have increased visibility in Indianapolis, but we'll actually be getting a lot of national recognition by way of this new partnership. Again, things like ESPN and other sports outlets, as well as local news. We're also going to be doing some targeted Teach Indy recruiting at colleges and universities, where we'll be introducing why it's amazing to teach in Center Township. And Blake, if you can go back one, why it's important to teach here in Center Township. And we will be agnostic of school. We just want to make sure that folks are coming, finding that just right fit for them, and have the opportunity to engage with the Teach Indy website and search for the place that feels right for them from a mission and vision perspective. And then finally, our hope is, as we continue to track the data of when people are visiting the website, we'll be able to share some data trends on talent back with you all, so that you can be strategic in when you're posting advertisements, et cetera, related to your jobs. So those are some things that Teach Indy is planning to do over the year. So how can you best situate yourself to being able to maximize kind of what Teach Indy is doing? So there's a couple things. One, we really encourage you, given the number of people that are accessing the Teach Indy page, to update your job postings. Because they're being seen so frequently, and because we're seeing so many visitors, we want to make sure that all of your jobs are posted and that people can click on them and find that just right link and make it to whatever platform you're using to run your hiring process. The second thing is, starting this school year, we'll also be providing some office hours where you can get support on how to do things like updating your job. So we'll be available to walk you through that process and to be helpful. You'll see those in our new talent newsletter that's going to be coming out. And they'll be monthly, so that you can send whoever your talent person is, or if this is you, you can join us and learn a little bit more about how to update the information that you need to. You'll also, for a new kind of a newer endeavor this year, we want to make sure that the site feels a little bit more aligned to how you and your school operate. And so now all of our schools pages, schools will be able to customize those so that the language feels more aligned to kind of what your school feels like on a day-to-day basis. So again, we're going to have a tutorial here in just a minute where you can start to update your unique school and include more information from families and kids and videos and images, et cetera, on that Teach Indy page, so somebody searching can find out more about your school and get a more clear picture of what it might look like to engage in your school community. And then finally, our big ask in how to leverage Teach Indy is to make sure that you're connecting your staff to the teachers, to the website directly, and also having them take a look at our newsletter. This will enable them to get information about discounts that are coming up, or ticket offers that we have, any sort of like professional development that's coming up. This is a great place for teachers, new teachers, veteran teachers, mentor teachers, teacher leaders. The Teach Indy newsletter really does have all of that new information, and we'll have more information about the college football playoffs and their upcoming events, which should be really, really awesome. So I'm going to pause here and just take a quick look at the chat and see, do we have any questions outside of how do I post my job? So I'm going to take just a quick minute If you have any questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat. Exercising my good teacher wait time. Okay. If you have a question that pops up throughout, please feel free to leave that there in the chat, and I'll be watching that throughout the rest of this presentation and can follow up with you directly with any more information that comes up. So probably the most asked question that we are getting is, how do I go and update my page? How do I add my jobs? How do I take down jobs that have already been filled? What are the next steps for that? And so to make that as easy as possible, we've created a how-to guide directly on that Teach Indy page. So we can go ahead and go to the next slide, please. And again, this will be mailed out to you. So how to update your job postings and also your school pages. If you visit the website, there's kind of we'll call it an admin page to the Teach Indy website that only school leaders have access to. If you'll notice, it says website, admin, navigation. And that page has a bunch of how-to videos on how to update your job, and now also how to update your school's page. You know, I am not a coder. I don't have expert technology skills, but our team has made that as seamless as possible. And again, has YouTube videos that will walk you through how to update your jobs and also how to customize and update your page. You'll need your administrative name and also your password. If for some reason you have lost your password or you're not sure who your administrator is, there's two things that you can do. One, you can email me, and my email will be on the last slide here momentarily. Or two, you can click forgot my password, and that will help you to generate a new password along the way, and that will provide you access to the backside of Teach Indy. Make sure that you take some time to review those videos. They are very, very helpful. I used them the other day myself to make some updates, and so those will be really helpful for you as you're making your updates. And again, don't worry if there's a mistake. We on the back end are taking a look and making sure that we vet any of the changes, and we kind of publish those along the way as well. And again, if possible, please make sure that you have your talent lead or whoever is overseeing your talent process attend those office hours that will be coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So I decided to come together real quick today and just give a quick update on where we are. You know, Teach Indy is only going to be as strong as all of us coming together, and our goal really is to make sure that Teach Indy feels great for you and your staff and is meeting the needs that you have in the way of recruiting and developing and retaining your great teachers. And so if you have feedback along the way, or if there's anything that you want to share with us about how things are going, on the next slide is my email. So you'll have my contact information and also a link to the website so that you can go and visit and explore and learn a little bit more. And we hope that we will get to see you in those office hours in the next couple of months that you will find out more about in the talent newsletter. So again, thank you for attending, and I hope the event continues to go well. We wanted to be short so you could get in and talk to vendors today. So with that, I will sign off. Thank you so much.